get ready, tune in, unwind. It's the Smoke World Podcast. It's time to talk about what's happening, baby. So run, don't crawl. It's the Smoke World Podcast. It's time to think. So go ahead and get yourself a smooth drink. It's the Smoke World Podcast. Light up your cigar, put your feet up, and don't go too far. So tune in weekly in your car, at home, or on your phone, and listen in the Smoke World Podcast, hosted by Stone.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone, so go grab that stick. Go grab a glass, whatever you drink, and let's sit back and have the conversation. Back live in the lounge with the brothers in the circle,
and it's
doing
hot.
the thing. It's hot, baby. It's hot in all methods of hot.
I'm coming in hot.
Oh, man, what I'm smoking today. I got the Nica Rustica. It's a smoky cigar. This cigar always puts out a lot of smoke for whatever reason, but it's a good smoke, inexpensive Smoke World prices like I like them. Got on sketches. What's up, man? Where the hell have you been at, bro?
I've been to St. Martin, man. I've been to St. Martin, man. I was hanging with the Dutch.
Damn.
Hang with the Dutch.
Yeah, the Dutch.
Okay, no problem. What you smoking on today? You got Cuban?
I went in cheap today. I got
You ain't got your glasses, so be careful, bro.
Smoking a Fuente. You know,
Okay. Well, Fuentes ain't necessarily cheap. Like a smoke.
Something cheap.
Okay.
Good, man.
Pastor Bumpy Johnson, what you got over there, brother? What's up, baby? What you
I'm
got?
about to blaze something hot.
This is the Cuban,
Oh, he's
Got
showing
the
off a
Cohiba.
little bit.
Come here. Are we live? Are we live? How do you say? Are we live now? Are we live now?
L-I-V-E
Can I-
live
Can I
on
throw
the
in a
mic.
shameless plug? I miss you. You miss.
I miss you. So what
But
you got,
before,
Bumpy?
because I want to talk. This is Cuban. This is
Oh,
Cohiba.
okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Cohiba.
J Rock, what you smoking on, man? You got a little nub left, man.
Yeah,
You down
man,
to the
you know
nubnicity of
what,
the
it's
cigar.
always, this is where the flavor is, though, man.
No doubt.
I
It's
be
called the
telling you, that's the best
nubnicity,
part for
man.
me.
The best part.
This is what I'm at. That's
You
the
ain't got
best
your
part.
your little pointer? You can poke
Yeah, I
it.
gotta get one, man.
You ain't got none of those?
Yeah, man. I gotta get a point, man.
Don't get a point.
Just give one jump for the corner of the cob.
Yeah, man.
At the dollar store, the $1.25
Don't get one of
joint.
those, man. Burn your fingertips, man. Dude,
Word.
come on, don't be a
This ain't no
puss.
weed, bro. This
Don't be
ain't
a
weed,
puss.
man.
Word.
This ain't weed,
I was
man.
actually accident doing that one time in the car, about like this, trying to catch it.
That's what men do. We get into accidents for a cigar.
Oh, I ain't never heard of that, bro.
Duly
Now,
noted.
I don't.
Cuban tastes
Duly
good.
noted.
You're gonna get the
Yeah,
same.
you listen to
cigar
that if
all
you
the
want
time.
to.
The Cohiba tastes
This is
good.
Olivia, this is Lisa.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
The Connecticut. Yeah, man. Hey.
Yeah, he over
I
there
like
showing
these,
off.
But we was at the other spot and Pastor Bumpy bought me one. Like, yeah, he put me back on with these.
Yeah, that's a good cigar. Good cigar.
We was at the hideout.
He over there
We try to
chewing on it.
bless the church.
Yeah.
I see his face. You see his face as he's
That's a
smoking
good
that cigar?
Try to bless the church. This is awesome here.
Well, make sure it's lit properly, sir. It look like it might need to.
Oh, he's a lit.
yeah,
he's the
the
man.
light,
He's
the
a-
light
he's a-
specialist.
Yeah, he's a.
He gets around a lot.
That's right.
No,
yeah.
just want your cigar to
Smoke
burn.
world.
That's right.
They get,
You
they
don't
get around a lot.
properly
He's the
light it.
lit police officer, right?
They know
lit.
him too.
L-I-T, baby.
L-I-T.
Lit. Speaking of lit, they got something going on
I'm
tonight.
gonna light it again.
Won't be
Tonight,
over.
right?
Smoke world. I'm lighting it again.
Yeah,
Should be
get
there
the
now,
edge
if
over
that's the
there.
case.
There you go, because it's important to get the proper burn.
What are we talking about today?
Well, you guys was talking about a lot of stuff, actually. It's a lot going on in the world.
No. We talking about Diddy.
Yeah, it's a lot going on right now in the world,
Diddy,
man. Now-
Diddy, or Diddy not?
I'll be the first to tell you, I really haven't been paying attention to the Diddy trial. I'll be honest.
You haven't?
I've been hearing pieces of it, but I
Right,
haven't really
right.
put myself and sat myself in front of the TV. I'm on Clubhouse, bunch of rooms talking about Diddy, but it's not really interesting to me.
Right.
But today, they are looking to do and have the verdict. Am I correct?
Right.
They didn't come up with a verdict. Am I correct?
Well, they deliberated for 12 hours, and hold on, I think.
Yeah, the Rico's done. They got rid of
We got Pete over here,
They got rid
a
of
resource.
Rico, they
Pete
got
got
rid
his
of-
computer and said, Pete, where we at, Pete?
I forget
As far as
Did
where we
they
at with the
drop
Diddy
sex
trial?
trafficking too?
Oh, no, Pete got the computer
No,
out. He's
no,
got
no.
the laptop. Pete, what's the latest right now? What is the latest on
I
the
think
Diddy
they
trial,
dropped
Pete?
the sex trafficking.
I think he's going to be found not guilty of everything.
Well, no, we're not asking
That's
for your
what you
opinion. I'm
think,
saying, what's the
Pete?
actual news? Where are we at?
Hey,
They,
man, that don't count. That's freaky. Pete.
they were sent home.
Pete
for the-
talking crazy.
That does not count. Hey, look, can we scratch that? Jury, scratch that.
Pete
That comment came from Freaky Pete. Freaky Pete smoking his cigars, and Freak said they're gonna find him not guilty. And I said, Freak, aren't you the one with the dolls? I mean, I'm just saying.
Whoa, I don't know if that have any.
He was
that's
filming everything.
objection, Your Honor.
I'm just saying,
Objection.
Pete might- look,
Objection overruled.
No, Pete
Objection
might
overruled.
have an inside track.
He was filming it.
He may.
I'm thinking Pete might have an inside track.
Okay, so We don't want your opinion, Pete. We
Okay,
love you, but we
okay.
want to know the facts. Okay, you have your laptop out.
They made him go
They've
back.
been, the jury's been sent home, I'm pretty sure, for the day at this point in time. He's right now. We're getting Pete to get the latest news
But I'll
for
tell
us.
you
He's
one
looking
thing,
it up on the
It doesn't
laptop.
look good for the defense, though.
What do you mean, sir? Expand on your
they're
statement.
not coming together to get a final, bro. Something's up.
Well, here's the thing, man.
Something is up.
Here's the thing. Everybody.
20 minutes ago, Diddy trial jurors to continue deliberating after reaching verdict on all but one count.
Ooh.
So they got a verdict on one. Wow.
Right.
Are
Nobody.
they still at the courthouse? Still at the
They
courthouse.
told him.
Oh wow. They said
Diddy's
their asses.
his attorney told him to keep deliberating. They had to keep going deliver after 12 hours.
Wow.
That's what
So
they
they trying to
tweeted.
have a verdict today.
Yeah. They tried-
Today.
But they can't. It's too inconsistent, man. Nobody knew the party was going on. Everybody playing ignorant.
Okay, so we're gonna go around the room and ask opinion.
Right.
Have you been sketching? Have you been paying attention to
Yes,
the trial?
I'm paying attention.
Okay. So based on information you've been paying attention to, what do you think's going to happen? And if you think he will be found guilty or not guilty, we'll start there first.
He's going to be guilty for all the less crimes, like the small crimes.
Those small crimes carry some weight, though.
The 5 to 10, that's the max they're going to get.
That's
him.
what I'm saying. But them small crimes carry some years, brother. It's not like okay, hey, that's
That's what
federal
I'm saying.
time.
5 to 10.
Okay, 5 to 10.
10.
Okay, bumpy. You know, you out in them streets. You know, you beat the feds like 20 times.
Hey, come on. Whoa.
What do you think, man?
My mic sounds nice.
Check 1, check 2.
Listen, you know what's interesting though? I listened to Judge Greg Mathis, and he was saying that a lot of the stuff that they had, like the Cassidy incident, should merit because that's domestic. Shouldn't have been in there. And I found that interesting.
Right.
That's
And
very
then
true.
when Pete weighed in and said they found him not guilty on all but one, or not they saying they deliberated on all the charges but one, I'm thinking it's hard for them to prove at this point the sex trafficking and that kind of stuff. And you know, he may just 5 to 10. I'm gonna have to go along with Sketch. 5 to 10. I'm thinking it's going to be the verdict. I mean, that's going to be what the judge hands down.
So if I'm not mistaken, I think coercion is one of them, right? I think that's what's going to get him.
I think right now it's a. Don't get me wrong. I think the whole shit is crazy, but I think right now they're on a character smearing campaign with this guy.
It is.
So you can't.
Wait a minute. You don't think he did any of this stuff?
No,
Sir?
no. I think he did everything.
Okay, so help me out.
But I also believe in my heart that everybody there was a willing participant.
Thank you.
And 100% of people are saying they had no idea that these parties were going on, but everybody was participating.
But it's not that. You got to understand.
Laura Kelly party?
Yeah, but you got to understand something. Puff Daddy danced around and everybody thought Puff Daddy is a gangster.
Yeah, no doubt.
We have to.
Is that
He is a gangster.
no doubt?
He has killed before.
Oh, okay.
Multiple times.
Yes. So it's not to say dancing. No, he is a
however-
gangster. So you have to think about Gotti and all the other gangsters, and that's why.
But that's not. He's not. He's
But
not
he's
on trial
not-
for being a gangster.
Thank you.
No, that's what the RICO is.
I got you. But here's. It all stemmed from.
That's what I'm saying.
It all stemmed from the sex trafficking.
Right.
Now, as far as the RICO, what he bought too many bottles of.
No, that's not the RICO.
No. What I'm saying is, how did his money? He was already almost a billionaire. How did his money go to funding a drug import?
It wasn't his money. It was his power. It was his power.
power.
So your
influence.
RICO. So your power. So take the money out of the equation. So your power and your statute can influence.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely,
And that's-
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're okay. I'm glad you said that. So you're saying that these people, mentally was influenced and scared to say something because of what they.
Yeah, you got to understand. Look at the people that been around Diddy. You had the people that died mysteriously. People are scared of that. People thinking that he killed Puff Daddy.
But
I mean,
you-
I'm Biggie
Biggie.
Small.
But-
People thinking he killed Kim Porter.
But you still okay.
And got Christopher Williams sick, so people are scared.
I got you. Okay, so let's
But
go.
all that-
let's
but has that been proven?
Let's go to the initial act.
You know that-
And I'm not one time in my condoning Diddy.
Right.
But let's go to the initial consensual act.
Right.
You chose
to
to put drugs in your
Thank
system, and you chose to be party freak-offs.
Thank you.
chose that. Now, I'm not even saying it's so much a fear. I think it's fear of their reputation. Not fear of him, but fear of their reputation being smeared. Guys being affiliated with this gay shit. Women now being looked at as freaks. I think that's what
Of
they're
course.
arguing.
Of
So that's why
course.
they're smearing him. They're not fearing him dying or what he going to do. Their fear was going that him throwing those tapes out is going to fuck their name up, their money, and their reputation up.
That's major.
what's gonna do.
I
Right.
agree with that too.
That's
Yeah,
major, though.
Yeah, I,
But
I-
see,
yeah, I
that's
agree
the
with that.
power that
Yes.
you all were talking about.
Thank you.
Right.
That's the power that the governor was saying that
So-
you can't take for granted.
Like-
You know what I mean? He wields a lot of power and
And influence on people.
And influence.
I couldn't
And-
do it.
And people
If I had
think-
if I had
Hold on.
these tapes,
One mic. Like
Yeah,
bumpy.
and look, people thinking that, you know, this guy is going to be. I can do this for a minute and bounce because it's going to help me climb the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I look, man, I agree with Jay. Jay Jelani said that they made a choice.
Oh,
Now,
no disagreement on that.
here's where it gets tricky for me. You might be lured in by the lifestyle. You might be lured in because you know that being around certain people, all they got to do is drop the word. Your life may change overnight, and then you're introduced to things you probably never seen. Who? I mean, look at how Cassie was looking, man. She was wearing glamorous stuff. She was round, and that has an effect on people's psyches. You add drugs to it. Now, we don't know if these people are like entering into a mild form of addiction or none of that. We don't. That has never come up. Nobody never talks about that. But that plays a real big role with folks. You know, it only takes 21 days to develop a new habit. Just think if you're in the habit of doing some of that stuff, and that's your refuge place, even though you don't like it. It's like people who, what is Stockholm Syndrome? You know what I mean?
Yep.
You start to identify with your captor. Diddy was their captain, and they started to identify with
Exactly.
him.
That's
You know,
another-
and look,
that's
he
another way of looking at it.
That's
and,
exactly.
and
Well,
look,
it is.
and look, he not only did it for his parties, Diddy was doing this for a lot of execs. And I'm going to tell you something else why he's not going to do a lot of time. He kept his mouth shut. You didn't hear Diddy say, I did this for so-and-so. They taught me this. I seen them. They never went to jail. But I didn't think it was wrong because everybody else. He didn't do none of that. Kept his mouth shut. He going to be rewarded for that.
By whom?
I suspect. All this
Oh,
is
okay.
all this is just
I'm about to say he in the
speculation.
court of law right now. I can see
All this is
getting
speculation.
out. That may be
Well,
a reward.
you got to look
But
behind who
in the
runs
court of
the
law,
courts. Who runs the courts? We just had an
Or
example.
money.
We just had an example of people,
Funny money.
you know, on the executive branch running the judicial branch. You
Right.
know?
If
Come
I'm
on
not
now.
mistaken-
That's a whole nother
if I'm not
conversation.
mistaken-
Come on now,
if
come
I'm
on.
not mistaken, Gotti
So-
won his RICO charge, and his shit was fucked up.
Hey, yo, check
It's
see
worse
the
than
judge-
this.
Check see if the judge was on the tapes too.
You know, Gotti won his RICO trial.
I have
first
to,
one.
I have
Did
to
he?
uh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
revisit that
Gotti
one.
won his first one.
I didn't know that.
So Diddy, okay, so with people initially choosing to want to be with this because
Yes.
they see a certain level of power.
Yes.
So Diddy was pretty much the puppet master with it then.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna play your weakness. I'm gonna learn your weakness.
Right.
I'm gonna exploit it.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna film you.
I'm
Right.
gonna film you.
I'm
Right.
gonna bum you in your ass.
Yeah.
Film me.
Right.
Absolutely.
Film me.
But you wanna know what?
And you engage in some type of act.
I do agree. It's
Blackmail.
It's a scumbag act.
It's blackmail.
To exploit somebody else's.
It's
weak
blackmail.
moments.
Bottom line, it's
And
blackmail.
threats. That's what I'm saying. The threats.
But at the same time, as an adult who's already influential to everybody that's influential to millions of people.
Right.
So as a person who already know your acts is influential and you can and you actually dictate somebody else's, why are you going to be that weak to let somebody else dictate yours? You already got power. You already got money. So why are you choosing to be there? Why
But
you
see,
choosing?
there's another part.
You're already A-list actor. Why let this?
Well, I don't know about those individuals. I hear what you're saying, but I don't know if everybody was
Well,
already of status. These
Clout
people are
chasing-
coming into
clout
status
chasing-
and money.
Clout chasing motherfuckers. You at the end of the day, I don't want to sound crazy. You get what you get. It's your
No,
choice.
you get no disagreement on that with me, but these folks that came in, the ushers, these new artists,
Right.
starting off new. He's blackmailing.
That's what I'm
filming.
No, that's fucked up. No.
That's what I'm
Now,
saying.
you
They
explain them
didn't
as
have
kids.
no idea.
Now, you jam them on that shit. Like you bring these. If
Get 'em
you're a
when they're
grown
young.
man, if you allow another grown man to exploit you, that's your. But little boys, you jam on that shit, man. He deserved time for that.
Well, I think the RICO thing was more so him crossing state lines, for sexual acts.
in the plane.
Right. So,
But on the plane.
Who haven't picked a girl up you cool
hey, be
with?
careful, man. Be careful.
No, I ain't
Don't
saying I did
indict
it.
yourself.
I ain't saying I did it. I ain't do it.
You know what I mean? I know somebody who did. You know what I mean? My man should know.
No. But what I'm saying is that I think that's. I'm not saying I'm with it. I'm not saying I'm not with it. I'm saying is if you have a girlfriend or a fiance who live in another state, and if you pick her up to bring to your house for a weekend.
You got multiple people banging around.
Right, and you pay.
No, just
that's you. Well, that's you.
No.
Yeah, no. This
Is there any money? Is there any money involved?
No. I mean, you take out to dinner. There's always money involved. You got your girl.
No. It got to be money. It got to be money involved. Some kind of
You ain't got your
force,
mans in
kind
there
of
waiting at
threats.
the crib.
No.
Yeah.
But
Trying
still,
to bang her out. You bring it over.
So where
particularly
are
for
those
that
lines
situation.
blurred? Where's it legal or not legal? You got to, like I said, you got a fiance, buy a ring. Y'all in the process of moving together. She comes.
Because it got to be in the text. She got to say no, and then
Well,
you got to continue. You got to add in all.
I agree with that because at some point you have to. It gets to be imprisonment.
Yes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And the law has to prove that this person, would have decided or may have said no or did
exactly.
say no, and
So
do
they
you
see the nose? Do they see it?
They saw the nose.
They saw the
Yeah,
nose,
they saw the nose.
but
And-
they
and-
still participated with the nose.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it a no or a yes? I mean, the no was a yes.
no means no though.
No. No means no. But
You gotta
they
put him
still
on
were
trial.
willing
It
to
wasn't enough. They
participate.
didn't keep it. So it wasn't
And
enough.
And here's the thing: if he never got exploited, how long would they have done it? They've still been doing it.
No.
The parties
Hold
still-
on. They say no. Then the question becomes, what is in me to think that my no is not strong enough for him?
Right. I agree with that.
You see what I'm saying?
How-
Because what are the consequences of my no?
No.
Absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
No absolutely means no. I'm just speaking outside the box right now with them. Just speaking to this situation.
Okay.
They
So you say no.
they're saying-
I'm going to put this out. So you're going to say yes.
At that moment, go to
Blackmail.
the 30. Go to the
That's
30.
blackmail, right?
They need to go
Or
to the 30.
introduce drugs
No.
or narcotics into the situation unknowingly to your girl.
Yeah.
And say, okay, you saying no, but I'm gonna give you these drinks that I put something in,
Right.
get you loose,
Or
get you
let me rub
drugged
you
up,
down.
and
with
you don't
this
know
baby
what
oil.
what's
Baby
going
oil
on.
mixed with this drug.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I'm taking advantage and bringing my peoples in to do a
And
little something,
videotape.
put a little work
That's
in.
it's a totally fucked up thing to do that he's doing. What I'm saying is that without a gun to their head, they're continuously going to the house. Continuously going to. I'm talking about for years. They going to the ones that was caught up in the no scenario. They kept going.
Because they all had drugs. Drugs is a hell of a thing, man.
Well,
Drugs.
not only that, they
money,
all were promised
Rick James,
positions.
cocaine's a hell of a
And
They
drug.
got position.
And they had positions
They got
and they
position.
were
They got
getting
things.
money.
It's a fucking choice as an adult to keep going
I-
back to a fucked up situation.
I agree
I
with
agree
you.
with that.
Regardless of the money, regardless of the material mechanisms, regardless as to what's been promised to you.
Right.
And I think it points back to how you were raised and what your foundation is.
Let me put my disclaimers out there. I think P. Diddy's a fucking scumbag. Real razor, piece of shit scumbag to me. I'm just talking about the people who are continuously choosing, even with him with tapes on you and you're caught on you're addicted to drugs. The puppet master from where he is.
Right.
You're still choosing
To go
multiple
back.
times, dozens of times to go back to
Yeah.
participate in
Streetwise.
the same shit.
Right, streetwise.
Which
But it's
which
still
is insane.
But
Well,
at the
ho, ho,
same
ho.
time, it's still against the law, though.
It is.
Right, it is,
It's
absolutely.
against the law.
It's
Now,
against the
all
law.
right,
Absolutely.
all right.
They're breaking it as well.
Look, here's another
Are
scenario.
they break? Are they because they're choosing to go?
No, they're not breaking the law.
You're doing drugs. That's what.
You could do consensual
Well-
drugs in their house.
I got you.
Well,
guess,
look.
right?
What about this?
Can you?
What about this? What about this?
Like, so you're doing consensual drugs. At some point, you're sober until you go back and do drugs. At some point, you're not exploited until you put yourself in this position to keep getting exploited.
All right, look. Saw a movie the other day. Sparkle.
Ooh, that's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
Now, sister, right? They came to get her. Say, we taking her to the hospital. She's drugged up. You beating her up. You putting your fists in her. You putting dope in her, and she would leave out with them the intent to get clean. As soon as he come in, baby, what you doing? What you doing, baby? You leave? No, I told him I wasn't leaving. Right away, she fall right back into that that submissive mode,
Right.
as though she's a hostage. But she's a willing participant in your eyes. In my eyes, she's so sick,
Yeah, it's a sickness.
she can't even see her condition. And she feels secure. Remember now, most women or most young people, they want to be safe first. He creates the illusion that in this business, I'm the man. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. I got you when you with me. However, you gotta roll with the team. You forced to make what you said, a hard decision. And when you look at the life you come from and look at where you are materially, and you look at what you're putting up with, a lot of people will just put up with the crap to get to the next. Because they do. You see pimps out here every day. And you see them, what are you doing? Why are you selling your body? And you give everything to him. What?
Off of your body.
How does that compute?
It's the oldest.
You
it's
understand?
the
But
oldest
you
job
see,
it's the
but you
oldest
see what I
job.
mean about that power over an individual, and why individuals don't make or can't make a
They
choice
had
to
pimps.
leave.
Romans
So
had
in your mind, at some point, this woman is not saying it's my conscious decision to go out here.
She's
not.
So she just
I'm saying choice is gone.
So her mind is gone. So
She's
not
gone.
making no decisions.
She's
for
not
herself.
making
So she's
choices.
not cleaning herself. She's not brushing her teeth. She's not going to bed. I mean,
she may do all of that.
Okay, so it's your choice.
But deep in her psyche,
I got you.
this
But
is what she do,
It's still a choice.
and this is how she feel good. This is what makes her whole.
So if with her deep in her psyche,
Right.
If the pimp says, I'm gonna go extreme with this. The pimp says, okay, I got your mind. I'm controlling it.
Right.
Go murk somebody. She kills somebody. She's gonna jail first degree murder because that's her choice.
But he's gonna go to jail also.
You're absolutely right. But the judge, but the one thing the judge is not going to jump over is the fact that it's her choice to do it. Even though he's getting in trouble.
That's true.
He's going to say he's not going to jump past that illusion. She had nothing to do with her choice. That's her choice. It's all their choices to be there. He's a scumbag. You're right. He's a puppet master. He's like a cult leader.
Right.
But it's her choice to be there.
Well, like I said,
Some hymns in there too.
let me tell you something.
Some hymns in there too.
No.
Ain't only hers and some hymns.
Lot
Hers and
of
hymns.
Yeah,
and those the motherfuckers. I didn't know the party was happening.
What-
Hey,
What are
look,
the-
man.
what-
They got a line in
like Marlon Wayne. I was there.
Narcotics Anonymous got a line.
Hey, yo, what did Marlon Wayne say? I was there at 2:30. What the sex party happened at 2:32? Nigga, he was part of it.
Stop,
Yeah.
man.
You said she
Look,
was on
it
Clubhouse,
said-
right? What are the women saying? What are the women saying? What the angle they coming in at?
Hey,
It
look,
varies
let me-
on
Before you
Clubhouse.
say that, let me just remind you. A true addict would tell you, man, shucks, I use drugs because they turned me on. And then they turned on me.
Right.
That's deep.
Right.
Bro. That's deep.
Think about it.
Right.
She was going to the party, turned her on.
Yeah.
And at some point, it turned on her.
Right. And then she started
She
hooking
could,
it up. She set it up. She
and
was setting it up.
sometimes when it turns on you, you don't know how to get out.
We are still responsible for our actions.
She was doing
100% responsible
doing
for
surprise.
what we do.
She was doing
that's
surprise
true.
freak offs for him
Right.
without him asking it.
Her choice.
But now here's the thing: we're focused on one crime. He's charged with multiple crimes,
Right.
Well,
and we're kind of getting focused on that
so
one
the-
piece
But
there.
the sex trafficking has been dropped. The RICO has been dropped.
See, that's what I'm not on top of the trial
I know
to
that.
know exactly
Yeah, they-
what's been dropped,
They dropped
what
that.
charges they
They
kept.
dropped that early.
So what do you think would stick?
Coercion.
Yeah, I see that.
Coercion?
Yeah.
I see that.
Federal coercion is 5
Coercion.
years.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like I think sex trafficking, I think that's still in there. I think cross the state
trafficking,
lines.
Yeah.
Because
Cross
what
state lines.
that doesn't negate the responsibility for both parties. Because they still responsible for the action, but he's the
There's
one.
no
but
doubt
remember-
about that.
Remember,
Of course we
once
do it.
you
Right.
go in and say I'm going to,
Right.
they can't, they can't lock her up.
Didn't he have a gun or a couple guns scratched off serial numbers and all that?
Yeah.
He got the that's federal time, bro.
Right,
federal.
right.
What I'm saying, all these little small pieces
I
of
think
crimes.
I don't think they can use that because the way they got it.
No, that's fruit of the poisonous tree. I don't think they had legal warrants to go in there and get all that.
But it still doesn't look good.
Didn't they? I could have sworn they took that.
I
out.
would have
They
to,
said
like I
they-
said,
the way they
Pete
went
would have to
in-
be our fact
Hey,
checker
Pete, the way they went in,
on
I
for
thought they
what
wasn't able to
charges
use
currently.
They didn't use it.
No.
You can't get it back, but they didn't use that. They didn't use that rifle.
I mean, there's still a charge. They didn't necessarily push that in the trial.
Right.
But again, that was a charge.
That's not a good charge. That's nothing.
All these little pieces, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10 year pieces,
yeah.
that add up.
Yeah, but see,
We talking about federal
a lot of
time.
times though they'll drop certain charges
drop it, yeah.
if they think the other charges are
But,
stronger.
Yes.
it's still enough to determine.
But we would need to know
It's
what
still-
charges he. I don't think right now. I don't know. Let me speak for myself. I don't know what charges he's being charged with currently. I don't know if you do or not. Or
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
what
So
either. I don't know.
so we kind of speaking from a place
I read
of
earlier,
ignorance.
I read earlier they had, after 12 hours of deliberation, they had to go back and keep deliberating. That's what I read.
All right. So go back to the
Well, you
original
heard what
question.
Pete said. They dealt with all of them but
Well,
one.
one.
That's the
So-
one wasn't following instructions. Because I
I'd
know
like
they had
to know
they had a
what they-
juror that wasn't following instructions.
Yeah.
That was a problem.
Or
There was one juror.
Or a
There was two
juror
of
that
them.
didn't agree.
There was 2 of them that had.
Well, they said I guess they had the. I don't know if it was the prosecution or the judge had to read the. Said, look, go back and
Right.
read the directions and instructions on how to deliberate.
And then one
go
got in
back
trouble?
and go from there.
One also.
Well,
got in
yeah, one
trouble.
got booted out because
With
Yeah.
a residential issue where he had a New Jersey and a New York address and didn't match up or something. So that was an issue there in
So
itself.
what happened if after they deliberate some more, they come back same thing? What happened?
But like I said,
And
guilty.
They come back tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm just saying if they go, one person says they don't agree,
Could be a hung jury.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibility. Yeah.
So would they have to start the trial all over?
Yeah.
and they will do that.
Yeah.
They're
And it does,
stuck on the sex trafficking case.
that's the killer.
Yeah, so I guess the judge's
That's
instructions
a
and
killer.
directions as far as
Before we know that he's guilty or innocent.
Because they would have to get him on that plane. On a plane.
We don't
That
know
plane
whether
they was
he's
trying to
guilty or
keep
innocent. We don't know
going,
whether he's
you know,
guilty or innocent as of
But he
6
wasn't
o'clock
like on the plane.
The
He
other
would
court.
he would put the
Okay.
girl on the
Sex
plane,
trafficking.
but he wasn't on the plane. So it's rough. It's like
So
I'm not on the plane with you.
Is it
You-
really?
you got on the plane by yourself. I told you to come here.
Now, People magazine actually says they're split on the racketeering charge,
so you got racketeering.
and the Wall Street Journal says it's a sex trafficking charge. So I don't know which one to believe.
Pete,
right
now if you
now.
could do me a quick favor, can you find out the charges that he was
I ain't gonna say
charged with?
difficult, but it's going to be interesting
Those-
how they play that out.
What charges are pending at the
See,
moment?
racketeering and sex trafficking is a catch-all. It's kind of like the same, similar thing.
Yeah.
Almost.
Would they go?
So I think that's where the problem.
Yeah,
The fact that
it's
we don't really know. I can speak for me. I'm not saying we.
But
I don't know.
I don't know either that part right there.
I
The
think
charges
what happened-
that he's really facing right now, and what the jury is deliberating. What charges have been set on the table? The prosecution came in to prove that case. I don't know if those charges are, because again, I tell you, I wouldn't file them like that.
Right.
So the main question, I guess, back to the original question: do you think he's going to jail? And you guys are saying yes, he
I
is
think
going to go to
yeah, he
jail,
is.
but with limited time,
Right.
5 to
5%.
10 years.
Right now they're deliberating on 2 counts of sex trafficking, 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, and 1 count of racketeering. Now,
Right.
They've come to a conclusion on 4 of those 5.
Right.
Yeah.
That carries some weight.
And see, I'm thinking
What's
that
the conclusion?
the racketeering was put
Some
there.
say the racketeering charges that
so
still
that
outstanding,
for the
some say
reach.
sex trafficking.
Right.
That's what racketeering does.
Oh yeah.
What does Rack say
It
there?
gives you the reach.
To reach.
So it's not only Diddy, but it's other folks who conspired or acted in concert.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be more
All
people.
5
Oh yeah,
he's
but
found
he's not saying
guilty
nothing.
of
He's not gonna say that.
No.
4 out of 5,
And
or not guilty.
you know, folks have,
Right.
you know, they say, hey, because it's too many.
What was
folks
what was the
involved.
what was the evidence they had for the trafficking?
I
Yeah, you
I
have-
don't remember that.
Well, that's why you got to be paying attention to the trial.
I
So the
told
only
you,
thing we
but
can
I
speak
told you the
on
domestic
is our
I told
opinion.
you that whole domestic thing, though.
Yeah.
We're not even focusing on that.
No, because that piece really wasn't. I'm surprised
Yeah.
the judge let it in.
And now it's
'Cause it could
sensationalized a lot of stuff.
Persuade the jury,
That's what that
and it had nothing really to do with that.
Every time they put new evidence and throw it out, the jury they don't forget that.
Yeah.
Of course not.
They don't forget that.
I mean, it's been
That's
planted.
that's what gonna give him 5 years. Just by looking at that.
So bottom line, Diddy going to jail.
Diddy going to jail.
He definitely
Diddy.
Donald Trump say he was going to pardon him, though? About the federal
I don't think he
anyway?
said that.
I don't know if he want to get involved in
I
that.
don't
Trump
think
ain't
he's-
that crazy.
he ain't-
Trump gangster,
He was
but I don't think Trump want to get that gangster right. That's too hot. It wouldn't be immediately. If Trump does this, it'd be somewhere on the tail end of him leaving. He wouldn't do it right now.
Right. So if they do give him 10 years,
Well,
he
let me
might pardon
let
him
me
at
let,
the
let other brains think about this for a second,
He
because
might pardon him
because
one
he's got some black folks thinking, yeah, if he does this, it's gonna be for the black people,
he was at
and
the
Trump
party.
could be thinking, hey, I can get the blacks on my side if I let Diddy pardon Diddy. So some folks who
But
think
he already
like that.
pardoned plenty of black people. So
Well, I'm just saying this is
Well,
how
but
some of your people
look at
think,
the people
brother.
he was pardoning.
Yes,
Lil Wayne,
right.
Kodak Black,
Certain demographic of folks.
who have
Yeah.
a following.
Right.
Yes. So
No, the girl didn't have a following. The one that she didn't have a following. The one that now she's in charge of she didn't have a following.
Oh, she got a following.
Now she do.
She got a name.
But he was just talking about overall that
Yeah.
it lighten the blow. He's trying to lighten the blow for
oh yeah,
his
of course.
intake from the black community.
Well, he's setting himself
I'm not
up.
saying-
He's setting himself up for the next run.
I don't think he care about that shit.
He care about the next run.
He's looking at
He
the
care
next-
about the next run.
I don't think he care.
He working
Okay.
now on the next run.
You think he care about
It's
black
not
folk?
surprising.
Not black folks.
That's definitely what be
No.
You
floating.
don't care about that.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. He care about the votes.
You don't care about black votes though.
Man, he's smart. He's smart like that. He's
He's
thinking
playing
about
the game. Right. He's playing
You
the
know,
game.
when you look at how he is.
Look at my
positioned
African American over there.
as
Look at
a-
my
as a
African American
dictator.
over there. Isn't
you
he
know,
great?
he's positioning himself. So he's thinking, I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to be around on the next run too, because he made a statement. He said, this will be the last time you have to go through any of this.
Last time you got to vote. That's what he told him.
I mean, I heard him say that.
Oh no, he did. And
Where
everybody
was
been
that
sleeping on
coming
him.
from? Why would you even be thinking like that? Something has to motivate your conversation, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Remember, he did pardon NBA YoungBoy.
Yep. Yeah, I forgot about
Oh,
him.
he pardoned a lot of people.
After he realized that he has 3.2 billion followers on TikTok.
Hello. I'm just trying to tell
Not
you.
million, but billion.
3.2 billion hits on
Oh
TikTok.
wow.
He's
Like I
big.
said, it's the
He's
game.
big.
So let's go back and revisit what we just said. The kind of the black votes do matter to him because that's 3.2 billion right there.
But he had it already. He got the black vote already.
I
So
got you. But
Oh,
That's
sir,
not-
sir, hold
we're
on.
talking
Whoa,
about the
whoa, whoa,
future.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
No,
whoa.
no, no.
When you say he has the black vote, he only got maybe 12%. Okay, the majority of black folks voted for Kamala. Let's be factual on that.
Yeah.
He has a percentage, a very small percentage,
Yeah.
but he don't have the black folks vote.
Right.
We won't use that broad statement. So we
I don't
will.
know.
Let's be clear on that part of it.
Because he got the popular vote. So when I say popular vote, it's like
Elon Musk got that. He got all that scam sham.
Yeah,
but
but
that's a whole nother
you start,
podcast.
You starting to peg yourself as a person that would get black people off, brothers off. You know, motherfuckers look at you differently.
what's that? The
Trump.
Yeah, that's the
No,
game.
let me do something. Trump and get me off.
J Sixers.
Word.
You would do it. All of them.
Any means
Yeah.
necessary.
They figure they got a man. We can do something. We can do it in his name.
I'm-
We gonna be good.
I think I'm a part of somebody with 3.2 billion votes myself, bro.
That's the game. Yeah.
That is gangster though.
Word.
It's the game. It's the game.
Man.
It is the game.
Yeah.
And going back to Bumpy's
'Cause
statement.
Look at it. No one's talking about Trump. Black people just sitting about eating popcorn. No one even.
Well, I don't know
saying
about
nothing.
that, sir. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where you
Anybody
live at.
saying nothing, bro. Anybody saying? I don't hear a rap song out right now talking about Trump.
A rap song. What I got to do with anything?
What are you talking about? That's what hip hop is all about.
Well, we got to do
Talking
Trump
about
though.
what's
Why
going
hip
on
hop and
right
Trump?
now.
I'm confused on the statement that you made. What do you mean?
The biggest culture in the world is hip hop.
Okay, so
Right.
What,
So the culture's not talking about what's going on.
this is, first of all, let's be realistic about.
You realize that?
You talking about old school hip hop? These cats ain't never been conscious about hip hop, bro. These new cats, these YNs, negative, bro.
YNs.
We going. You talking about BDP and all
Yeah.
character? Them cats was conscious
You know, it's more
about
accurate.
what was going on.
You got LNs, you got YNs.
Yeah, you got all
You
that.
got LNs
But
first.
last call for cigars right now as the young lady named Marissa comes in. But yeah, they ain't never been. Where hip hop music right now you don't even know of. You want to call it hip hop? It's talking about anything conscious.
Yeah, they
What new groups? What new people? These young people do anything?
They're 180 degrees from that, man. They talking about
Yeah.
it's diabolical today. They talking about, man.
8%.
I can't get
That's
with
what I told you. It's the majority
You know,
I can't listen
with
to
the
it,
other
man.
boys. But
So
so
what?
you got
Kendrick Lamar. That's my
You know what?
boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Kendrick Lamar.
J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar,
J.
cats
Cole.
like that, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of where.
Oh yeah, you got to bump up.
Yeah,
you got to bump up, but not the majority. You still don't have the
Yo,
majority.
listen, I will say this when it comes to hip hop, we need to stop. There's too many Lils out there, too many LILs, man. Lil
Too many acronyms.
Lil Couch,
It's
Lil,
too many-
Lil
too many-
Bag Carry, too many
Lil Cigar,
too many Lils, nah,
Little
too many
Bush.
Lils,
And too many littles.
too many Lils,
Little shorts,
Lil Shorts,
little hat,
yeah,
little shirt, little pants.
Yeah, Lil- everybody Lil.
I was on,
Lil
I
Car.
was on YouTube and there was a white guy, Little Cracker. I'm like, come on, son.
Back in the day,
Little Cracker? Come
back-
on, son.
Back in the day, they was calling each other little because you was somebody's son or you was small.
Right.
They were Lil C, Lil Kim, and Lil C was small.
Right.
Little Cracker. He was nice. I ain't gonna lie. He had some
Lil
some
Bow
bars.
Wow, Lil
Yo, he had
Kid.
bars though. Little Cracker.
They got grown men coming up to me. My name is Lil.
I'm like, you 39 years old.
6'9".
Yeah.
300
39 years old. You little by
Tiny, tiny in the building. But going back to Bumpy's point, yeah, this guy Trump is kind of slick, man.
He's slick.
Nobody thought probably what the Supreme Court did, these changes. Nobody saw all that coming. So you can't sleep on this cat.
No, you can't.
You know, we always say, "Oh, he can't do that. He can't do that." The next thing you know,
He did it.
that part.
He
So
did
you know, you can't run for another. You can't run for another term.
Now,
No, but he
you
gonna
know
try.
what's interesting though?
What happens?
We talking politics. Now, the Democratic Party is gonna have to really do some push-ups.
Oh, they got to go
New
to the
York
gym, bro.
is saying it loud,
Right.
and they saying that old way of doing stuff is not flying up here.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah, it can
And
flip.
so I
New York
don't
can
know.
flip
You
the
know,
Republican.
even locally,
Think he's gonna flip?
you look
could.
at the Democrats locally. I don't hear nothing from them. I don't see
That's what
them.
I'm talking about.
They're not on the grounds with us.
That's
They're
what I'm
not
talking about.
They're not keeping us up.
Facts.
You know,
That's what I'm talking about.
even when you get to it's national and it's local. You know, the politics now become something, folks. It's like they think they rock stars or something. You know, not servants. And I think the servant part has been lost in the sauce.
But
You
folks
work
are falling
for
for
me.
that.
You work for me. I don't work for you. And a lot of times they come with that. You know, if I don't make it happen, it ain't gonna happen. Like there's no power with the people, and I think the people have to come back to knowing that the power resides with the people. And there's something in the Constitution that talks about our government not doing what it's supposed to do. It is our duty to overthrow that government. Now, I'm not saying let's run out here, get rifles, and be ready to overthrow the government. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about we need to think real serious about what is going on in our country. When you look at different things and you look at lack and you look at who has and who don't have and all that kind of stuff. And we got to start changing it first on the local level. I'm looking at the Biden Aquatic Center. Used to be Price's Run Pool. It's Brown, Burton, Winchester Park. You know, for 2 years now, since that pool's been remodeled, I go by in the summer, hot, no children. I used to go to that pool every day
Man, we used to party
and
at that pool
swim
weekends,
every
man.
day. It was a safe space for
Yes,
us.
it was.
Now, I don't know whether they don't have the pool open because they don't have the lifeguards.
I was not open.
Nah.
Wow.
Now, I don't know whether they just want it preserved as a historical site because Biden's name is on it.
Man, it's a public. It's a,
Well,
Yo, the,
it's a state
the
park.
Democrats ain't they're
I'm
not
trying to-
Democratic.
It's a state
I'm
park.
trying-
They're not Democratic.
I'm trying to tell you
They're
the
not
kind of
Democratic.
things that's going on, but we don't even talk about.
You're right.
That's right here in front of
right.
us.
He's right.
Why is that pool not open?
Democrats are not
I mean,
Democratic.
it serves the Riverside community. It serves East Lake Village. It serves the whole Vanderbilt Avenue, that whole corridor. People come all the way from North Side just to swim in that pool.
That's because these coward ass clowns who run the city, they you grease their palms, they're gonna shut everything down. Because they don't care.
Oh, you-
It's about their agenda.
Do you think they don't care or you think they're scared?
Both. More so.
Scared
both.
of what?
Both.
Scared of the Republicans.
Both.
I'll tell you what's going to
they're
happen. In
not
my
scared of
opinion,
Republicans.
these Republicans are going to
No,
fuck it up so bad
no, they-
that that's what they're going to do. That's what's going to happen.
You grease
No,
up.
They
talking
gonna-
about local
You
Republicans.
grease up.
Regardless, Republicans, period. They're going to have to fuck it up so bad for these folks to get reality check. By default, the Democrats is going to be able to just walk right back in it. Because right now, we don't really have anything going on. We sitting in the back.
Nothing.
We sitting in the back seat going for a ride.
We're not even on the bus.
You know what I mean? You don't think we're in the back seat?
No, we're not even on the bus. We got
Not right now. We're not on the
Man,
bus.
we were too afraid.
So we standing on the corner.
No, we home.
Oh, we home. Damn, we ain't never get dressed.
No, we didn't get dressed.
Damn.
Yeah, we didn't get
You ain't brush your teeth. You still laying watching TV.
They said Debo was gonna be in the building. We didn't get out of bed.
Oh, damn. All right, for time restraints, we're going to have to wrap it up there. All right, so, Jay, how you mean? You want to throw some shout-outs? I know you got your business. Shout out the business.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
folks know where you at, what you doing.
Bad man,
Yeah, I want to.
That's a bad man.
Yeah, I got Watchful Eye Security. We do a lot of installs.
What was that, man? I ain't hear that.
Watchful Eye Security.
That's good.
We do
Thank you.
camera installs. We build our framework network infrastructures. We also do mentorship too for for kids that want to learn about the different trades. It's about time we start doing that for ourselves.
Yes, indeedy.
So,
Yes, indeed.
and I am a firm believer. One thing I do want to see is I want to see the schools, not just these Voltech schools. I want to see schools start to implement more trades for these kids.
Right.
Instead of, college is good, but I think they equally need to put out there that's equally important, if not more, for them to get a trade
I think
first.
more.
We gotta get
It's
back to
got
Booker
certain-
T.
Certain places in
Get
Europe,
back to
more.
Booker T.
certain places in Europe requires you to have a trade before you're 17 for good college. I think we need to
My.
get back to that. Yeah.
Right.
All right, so how can we get in contact with you? Their phone number, website, or something?
Yeah, Watchful Eye Security is the name of the company. You can reach me at 302-494-3341. I'm the owner, Jelani McCoy. You can just answer the phone.
All right, Bumpy.
I'm gonna go real slow, cause regardless of what you heard before, this is not the jackleg preacher. This is the one who takes the heat to the streets. I had to throw that in there for the governor, y'all. CTAC, Churches Take a Corner, is our ministry, and we believe in ministry outside of the walls. Go to CTAC Foundation.org. And we got a cow down coming up in September. We, where them fans at? Where them fans at? Plus, you can donate right now because we're doing prison ministry, we're doing streets, we're feeding folks. And I'm teaching folks how to get out there and engage the community. So you can find me, CTACpreacher@gmail. That's my personal, CTACpreacher, all one word, @gmail. Or we're not going to do the number. Should I do the number, man? Don't do the number. Y'all do that here. Go to the website, ctacfoundation.org, and I'll get you.
Good stuff.
Sketch, you the man, boy.
Sketch, what you got, bro?
If you want to stay alive, go to www.rocnrodproductions, I got everything that's going to keep you alive on that website, from menstrual cramps to cancer to high blood pressure to gout to liver disease. You name it is on my website. Diabetes. I got everything on there. If you can't get it up,
Got
go
that
on my
tip.
website and I get it, and you get it down.
Bro, you got to lead with that one. You got to lead with that one for these guys.
Yes,
Get it up.
indeed.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, Smoke World Podcast. Check out the YouTube channel. We got the videos out there. Smoke World Podcast IG. We pressed on time. We're going to check y'all out on the other side. Peace and love.
It's the Smoke World Podcast. It's time to talk about